Hey sis, how many files are sitting on your desktop right now? Be honest. What if I told you that organizing those files could give you back hours of your time? Hours, possibly. What if I told you they can help you serve your clients better and make your business feel lighter and more profitable? We'll discuss and find out when we return. Hello and welcome, my beautiful mamas. Welcome to the Making of a Mompreneur show, where we help moms build bold, God led businesses online without burning out or neglecting their families. I am Rashida Green. I am the creator and founder of Digimompreneur Academy. I am the founder of Give Coaching and the host of this wonderful Mompreneur HQ community. I am also your biz bestie and digital coach. And we're kicking off a brand new series this month called Spring into Systems. That's right. We're talking about declutter to deliver. Spring clean your digital chaos because we don't just need more time, we need better use of our time and smart systems to help us to do just that. Today's topic is one I know that every mompreneur can relate to, and that is digital clutter. Let's talk about why you're overwhelmed and how your back end chaos might be the thing blocking your next breakthrough. All right, as we continue with declutter to deliver, spring clean your digital chaos, just make sure you drop down hashtag live if you're joining us live, hashtag replay if you're joining the replay. Let us know where you're joining in from so that we can know the vast and wide reach of the Mompreneur HQ community. We would love to know where you're from. And if, hey, you might even be local to us. We'd love to stay in contact. All right. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe if you're on YouTube and follow us if you're on Facebook. We would love, or Instagram. We would love for you to join our community if you aren't already a part of it. All right. And as we normally say, get your pen, paper, or digital device so that you can take down some good notes as we discuss our topic on decluttering today. That is a real good topic for me, particularly. I'm part of the notion that I have to also speak to myself in some of these topics because I'm not perfect, just like no one else is perfect. And sometimes these topics are topics that my audience wants, that the audience responds to, but it's also things that I need to hear and learn and research and know for myself. This is one of those times. And as we are just breaking into spring, new month, new season, I just thought it was the perfect time to start talking about how we can declutter and get our back office together so that our front office can run more smoothly. And I think when you think about it, there's actually a hidden cost to clutter. There is a hidden cost of clutter. And let's get real, clutter isn't just mess. Let's not even say, oh, because you got all these papers. Oh, no, it's not just mess. It's actually a drain on your money because you miss out on opportunities because you can't find the info that you need quickly. You have some people who might, I'll give you examples later. You're losing out on money opportunities, your mind, because every extra second that you spend searching or second guessing yourself or trying to find something, that's adding stress to your life. That's unnecessary stress, right? Then there's also the time that you lose. This is a cost because time is money, right? So if studies show that the average person wastes 4.3 hours per week searching for digital documents. I'm one of them people. And I declare this 4.3 is probably 4.5 for me, or at least 5 hours, because of the simple fact that my every time I buy a laptop, I just keep adding on. I don't remove my old files or update them or upload them. So I have, and it's crazy because instead of just clearing out the old stuff, I just buy a bigger laptop, another laptop with more space that it can save both the old and the new. This is ridiculous. But this is why I'm talking about decluttering, people, because this it's apropos at this point in my life. But yeah, I get in there, start searching for stuff and not naming them properly. So we'll talk about that. But That's the cost of that's the hidden cost of having this digital clutter in your life. And if you're watching live or catching the replay, again, I want you to sure that you do the hashtag live or hashtag replay. But I also want you at this point in the show to drop a laptop emoji, y'all. I want you to drop a laptop emoji in the comments. If your desktop is a hot mess right now, go on ahead, drop it in there. We won't tell nobody, but we're going to self identify a hot mess right now. Go ahead and drop that laptop emoji. Now, think about it. And as I started to tell you, there was a season where I had multiple versions of the customer contract, right? I designed one contract, I got a template of another contract. I had someone work with me on, oh, what was that system I used to have? A, not Adobe, Dubsado. So I had somebody create my Dubsado setup. So we had a contract specific to that. And it's crazy shuffling through which one, trying to figure out which was the latest version, which one is the right one. And talk about embarrassing when you have to send the client a contract and it's, oh, I'm sorry, it's not that one, it's this one. Not a good look. Not a good look. And I realized in that moment that I didn't need a new tool, right? Because I had Dubsado, I had Google, I had eSign. So I had all these tools, but what I needed was a system. And that's when I started looking at is creating digital workflows that help to make my business feel lighter. Now, as we talk about making the business, creating systems and making the business feel lighter, there are three most common chaos zones. And I know when I start naming them, you're going to be like, yeah, oh, that one, that's right, Rashid, because we all have the same type of chaos going on, whether we want to admit it or not. As business owners, as mom entrepreneurs, as moms, we get so distracted and overwhelmed with so many things that are going on a day to day basis that it can be a struggle. And some of these chaos zones, we're calling them today, start with number one, Google Drive, Dropbox confusion. Think about it. As soon as I said Google Drive, you probably, oh yeah, because we got these random uploads that don't have, and we don't have no naming conventions. We upload it, we get it from free, what is it? Oh, my mind is just going. The mind is just going. But anyway, so we have these bundles. I've been participating in quite a few bundles in quite a few years. And so I've downloaded a lot of stuff from these bundles. And I love the bundles that actually provide you with a Google checklist of all the items in the bundle. And it has a little checkoff box of, did you download this or did you download it? And that kind of helps me to remember the stuff that I actually downloaded. But yes, it gives me a little organization where I can go to that file and be like, oh yeah, I downloaded this, so it should be in this file in Google or wherever it may be. But yes, that is some type of peak of organization when it comes to bundles and these just random uploads and downloads, right? And then the issue of no naming conventions. As soon as I get it, I just get it, I open it, I read it, or I look at it, or I forward it, or whatever, do whatever I'm doing, and then I close it and I move on about my business. Meanwhile, it's under the naming convention that the owner had it under. So when I think that I'm going to go get this document, I have to figure out again, what was the name of it? What? Okay, it was about Google Drive. So let me just put Google in the search and I get all these other documents, of course, and Google emails. So it's, oh, that wasn't it. One of the things that you can think about doing is creating your own naming convention. Whether that means you put a PLR at the end if it's PLR, or if you put bundle gift or freebie or anything that you can remember, PDF form, or you want to call it marketing, whatever the naming convention you decide to use, whether it's going to be the date, or the day of the week, or the name of the person, or the company that you got it from. If it was Digimompreneur Academy, you could do DA, whatever. I don't know. Think of a naming convention so that it's easier for you to quell the chaos of trying to find your documents in your files. Every file named final draft version 2, really final dot PDF. Come on now, we got to get that cleaned up. because that is nothing but confusion because it's the same document. And then we go version 2, version 4, version 7. Do you still actually have versions 1 through 6 in your files? Because you're just creating multiple documents and confusion. So we got to think about that. Then the other chaos zone, this is another one. It's called messy desktop. I am guilty of a messy desktop. Now, I won't go into the psychological examination of what that could potentially mean, although I have considered it. But everything from Canva designs to course notes in one place, messy desktop, quick fix. You can create a sort me weekly folder and move all downloads there as a default habit, right? It works the same for your email, but that's going to be our next topic, but I'm just going to share with you right now. So messy desktop, you can start moving things into a file on a weekly basis, and then guess what? You can start cleaning them out on a weekly basis. And that way you'll have a little more organization to your desktop and you won't have a lot of duplications, and you can really clear it up and make it look all nice and pretty and maybe even have a wallpaper and stuff. That's an option for you when we're talking about these chaos zones. Another is email inbox chaos. I am all over the email chaos. And my husband jokes about it all the time. He's, "Oh, I'm catching up to you. I have 17 emails in my inbox." And I'm looking at him like, "Dude, really?" Because we know that's an exaggeration. We know that he's just joking. He may actually only have 17, but the idea that he's catching up to me with my multiple thousands, yeah, facetious. But that's okay. I understand because this is my email inbox chaos that I live through on a daily basis. And this because I do have client folders. In general, there are just so many folders. I don't have a follow-up system. It may be that you miss lead opportunities because your inbox is so crazily full. And therefore you miss out on money because you're missing those responses back from people who have actually said, "Hey, I was interested in what your program was," but you don't see it because of the email inbox craziness. So we got to get that out. So the one way that you can do that is to use tags, right? You have tags on in Google or in your email service provider. Try to use those. Use folders, even flags, because with flags, you'll be able to go back in and look at all the flagged items and then clean that out. If you thought it was important enough to flag it, then you can just go back to your flagged items and then review those. You want to basically treat your inbox like your digital front desk. If somebody was to walk up to you if you had a brick and mortar and somebody was to walk up to your front desk, would you want them to see that messy desk? Would you want them to see your files and folders all over the place? No, that wouldn't be a good look. So it's even though people may not be able to directly see what's on your laptop, the sentiment is the same. It needs to be clear, deep of clutter, and so that you can get to things that you need to get to quickly and be able to get whatever you need addressed in a matter of time versus digging. And what did we quote earlier? 4.2 hours of wasted time trying to find files. One of the tips we can provide you for this segment would be that a disorganized backend makes scaling feel impossible because you don't feel like you have the support. You feel like you can never get anything done because you're always searching and digging. But if you're ready to grow, you have to prepare to handle the growth. And the way that you do that is with systems. If you have a naming convention that allows you to put all your folders and files in an organized manner that you can easily reach, if you have a brand new customer, an old customer, a repeat customer, that you can get those documents ready and pulled so that you can address that need quickly and in a timely fashion, then that will be the way to go to be able to scale. Because the bigger you get, the more clients you get, and the more clients you get, the more paperwork potentially. And we're not talking about paperwork like physical paper because we everything's digital now, but it's still digital paperwork. Things, a paper trail that you would have to look through and find and organize. So start with the system. We talked about naming conventions. We talked about tagging and emails. The number of things we talked about. You can always go back and replay it. But or hopefully you've been jotting them down with your notes, taking notes. But yeah, there's ways that you can do that, and that is with systems. You want to get a system in place to help you to be organized and keep moving, taking your business and moving it smoothly. All right. So we talked about the hidden cost of clutter because it's going to cost you something. And we talked about the three most common chaos zones where the stuff just really gets out of hand. And now we're going to talk about the Mompreneur Digital Spring Cleaning Blueprint. We're going to create this off the top. This is something that we just want to share on how to get started now without getting yourself overwhelmed with what needs to happen in order to get the digital clutter cleared. And so the first thing I would say is do a digital dump. Set a 15-minute timer. And what you want to do is move everything from your desktop or downloads into a sort me folder. This is a folder, it's you're really just moving it from one place to another. Certainly that can be time consuming in itself, but it allows you to clear out one area while designating another area that you're going to focus on to get cleaned up. So it can feel like just moving the cups, right? Just moving stuff around. But if you think about your inbox, when you see that your inbox is crowded, full, you get nervous, you get overwhelmed, and you close your laptop and you go somewhere and sit down. But if you move those inbox items to the sort me file, for instance, now your inbox is clear. You feel like you can do something. So you go to the sort me folder and you just start clearing out whatever needs to be cleared out, renaming things that need to be renamed, tagging things that need to be tagged, right? But it's something to get your space clear. You feel better about going in and checking those and fixing those things when your inbox itself is clear. So let's think about a way to do that. Another thing you want to do is identify your core business categories. And I'll tell you what you do with this in a moment. So, what are those core business categories? You can create 5 main folders. For me, I have a couple of folders for vendors that I use, the type of product that it is. So for me, if it's a PLR product, if it's personal use product, I sift them through like that. But you can create your folders however you want to. And a way, some of the suggestions would be to have an admin and legal folder, which I do have a legal folder, branding and marketing folder. I do have a branding and marketing folder, and that's where you would basically put all your branding materials. And the same holds true if you bought branding materials, right? If you bought some Canva templates or something to that effect, you can put those also in that folder, even though it may be just a PDF file. Put it in the folder. Content and social media folder. Client files folder. Definitely want to have a client files folder, something that's going to be separate that you can quickly get into and identify who, which clients is which, and what meetings you have, what documents you have for that client. And then of course you want to have a finances bucket. So if you get bill e-bill receipts, paid invoices, you can always have that in your finances bucket. Easy to get a hold of. If you was to go through your bank statement and saw that there was a purchase that you weren't aware of, you can go in your finances folder and be like, oh, okay, this is from the invoice from 2 weeks ago. I just overlooked it. Or you can say, hey, I have nothing on that. I don't know who this person is. Let's file a claim. These are some things that you can look at, and these will be your go-to zones, so to speak, your filing zones for your business operations. So that way you know exactly what's happening in your business. You have it organized, you have your files, you created your naming conventions, you're good to go. Another thing that you can do to help make this go more smoothly is to start a weekly CEO file hour. So filing hour. So this would be the hour that you use per week, 1 hour per week to actually go through your items. So whether that's every Friday or just Sunday at 6 p.m., block off 30 minutes to file, rename, and organize. Something quick and easy. And then this becomes a part of your CEO flow, right? Because we talk about CEO days where you could either plan the business for the next month. So you have your once a month CEO day. You can plan your themes, plan your sales and promotions. You could go through your files, organize your files. You can organize your finances. You take a CEO day, and that's just to do business, the business of your business, and not necessarily to do social media, not to do your bulk recording, not to record your classes or update your systems. But this is not update your system, but update your membership. But this is the time that you actually take care of the back office business type stuff. And it could be other things like balancing your books or checking your planner. Those are semi-personal, but also business. Make sure that you're doing these things on a regular and consistent basis so that you create the habit of getting it done on a regular schedule. The last portion of today's episode of Declutter to Deliver is encouragement. And I'm going to tell you why it matters. Let me just say again clearly that you are not a messy person. You're a busy mompreneur. We juggle so much. So don't beat yourself up for the chaos, but know that we see the clutter. But now that we see the clutter, we can do something about it. Okay. God is not the author of confusion, and that get pulled that from 1 Corinthians 14:33. So when your digital space is in order, you'll notice a mental shift too. Peace in your business flows into peace in your home. Peace in your business flows to peace in your mind. You want to let your system serve your success, not stress you out. And again, going back to testimony time, I'm telling you, just being so overwhelmed with so many things going on, I just have these pockets of clutter. Now, that could be ADHD related, but I do still have these pockets of clutter that I just, oh, I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get to it. And then as soon as I look at it, I'm like, oh, I got to get to that. And as soon as I try to get to it, it's not, I don't want to get to that. That's too much. And so it really does play on your mindset. If you see the clutter, take care of it as soon as you can. Because the more you look at it, the more defeated you feel. And the more defeated you feel, it doesn't make you feel good. So if you have these digital spaces, now these are not visible to the rest of the world. These are digital spaces that pretty much only you see if you're the only person that use your laptop. But it's the same thing. If you got to go searching, hunting, and looking for documentation, it's the same struggle as if you were looking for that lipstick that happened to be on a countertop with a whole bunch of other stuff like jewelry and headwear and deodorant or whatever else just happens to be on this tabletop. I'm not saying anything about that being my tabletop particularly. If that happened to be your tabletop and you were looking for that one lipstick, that would be the example that I would share. Back at it, decluttering to deliver, spring clean your digital chaos. That's what we're talking about. And next week, we're talking more about automation, but I just wanted to share a little sneak peek with you. If you don't already know, I've created a done for you solution that gives you a full digital filing system with labeled folders, step-by-step instructions, videos, bonus guides to help you keep your business organized all year long. And it's called the Mompreneur Digital Business Filing System. And you'll be able to walk right through it. It's broken down into steps, and it gives you videos, and it gives you samples, it gives you templates, and you're able to do this with our system. So you don't want to miss the next episode when we're going to go ahead and get that to you. All right, mamas, that's it for today. We are so excited that you joined us for the Making of a Mompreneur show. And if today's conversation was the push that you needed, let me know in the comments. Go ahead and drop in the comments that you are getting yourself together. All right. And to make it more special, go ahead and screenshot this episode, post it to your IG stories, and tag me at the Digimompreneur, at the Digimompreneur. I was right the first time, at the Digimompreneur, with the caption, I'm spring cleaning my systems, and I will send you a surprise. That's right. If you go ahead and screenshot this episode, post to IG stories, and tag me at the Digimompreneur, with the caption, "I'm spring cleaning my systems." I will drop you a surprise digital product, of course. And hey, why not join me next week as we continue this conversation on time saving automations that will buy back your time? Remember, you can build a business that gives you life, not drains it. And let's get right so we can get free. If you haven't already, make sure that you like, subscribe, and comment so that we know that these are the type of episodes that you are looking for from the Making of a Mompreneur community and the Mompreneur HQ. Until next time.